Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. So here we are continuing our lecture with the application of the operational amplifier. In this part we will see the logarithmic amplifier. That is how this operational amplifier can be used as logarithmic amplifier. Now let us start with the logarithmic amplifier. So here this logarithmic amplifier, it consists of an operational amplifier. So let me draw. So this is your op-amp having one inverting and another one is non-inverting terminal, and here this inverting terminal is connected to a input register. This is your suppose Ri, this is your input register, and here the signal is given at this inverting terminal. This is suppose Vs input signal, and here the non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground. Okay, and this one is your output terminal. This is your VO. Okay, and here also a feedback circuit diode is present at this terminal. So this one is your PN junction diode. Okay, this one is your diode, and it has suppose the voltage. So here the voltage is suppose VF. Okay, that is the forward voltage of the PN junction diode. So now suppose the current across this diode is suppose ID, and here the total current is suppose II is flowing through this input resistance Ri, and here across this op-amp the current is flowing is suppose that is IB. Okay, and here for the non-inverting the voltage is suppose V1, and here for the inverting the voltage is suppose V2. So it consists of an op-amp, an input resistor array, the junction diode. So let me write it as suppose the junction diode is suppose D in place of the feedback resistor. Okay, now if I write according to the junction diode equation, so let me write according to junction diode equation, we can write ID equal to, that is diode current, will be equal to Is into exponential EVF divided by Kt minus 1. Okay, and here this ID represents where ID equal to the diode current, ID equal to the diode current, this is the diode current for forward voltage, diode current for forward voltage. Okay, and the Is represents in this equation, this Is represents the reverse saturation current. This is the reverse saturation current, reverse saturation current, and E represents the charge of an electron. Okay, and Vf, it represents the forward voltage of the junction diode. This is the forward voltage of the junction diode, forward voltage of the junction diode, it is your Vf, and K is the Boltzmann constant, and T represents the absolute temperature, absolute temperature. So let us write, this is your suppose equation number 1. Now if I will consider, if this EVF by Kt is very larger than 1, if we will consider EVF, that is this power of exponential, EVF by Kt, it is very larger than 1. So in that case we can write this equation, ID will be equal to Is into exponential EVF by Kt. So this equation can now be written like this, EVF by Kt. Okay, or if I will take, so let me write first ID divided by Is. If I will write ID by Is, then this will be equal to, this is EVF by Kt, exponential EVF divided by Kt. Now let us take logarithm of the both side, that is log base E ID divided by Is, that is equal to log base E exponential EVF by Kt. And also you know log E base E, that value is your 1, or simply we can write, or log base E id by is, that will be equal to simply here EVF by KT, because this log E base E, that value goes to 1. So simply this will be EVF divided by KT. Now we can write this VF, or this forward voltage of the junction diode, can be written as VF will be equal to KT divided by E into log base E into ID divided by log base E. This is your ID divided by IS. So this is the forward voltage of the junction diode. So this is suppose equation number 2. Now let us consider this II. This is your, suppose the current flows through the input resistance Ri, and this IB, suppose the current flows into the inverting terminal. Now let us write, let II, that is equal to current flows through Ri. Current flows through Ri. That is the input resistor. Okay. And here this IB represents the current flowing through, or the current flows through, current flows into the inverting terminal of the op-amp. This is the current through the inverting terminal. Okay. So now we can apply, similarly we can apply the KCL, that is the Kirchhoff's current law. So by applying Kirchhoff's current law, that is KCL, at the point G, at the point G, now I will show you the point G. So you can see here, at the point G means, suppose at this point, this is your G point. So here the current is II, that is equal to, so here also the current is II, and that is being divided for the op-amp, that is across the inverting terminal, the current will be IB, and here for the diode this current will be ID. So here we can write II will be equal to IB plus ID. So by applying the Kirchhoff's current law, we can write II will be equal to IB plus ID. So now let us write II will be equal to IB plus ID. This is your equation number 3. Since the point G is at the virtual ground, why I am saying virtual ground? Now let us see again the figure. So in this figure you can see the non-inverting terminal, it is connected to the ground. So this terminal is grounded, this non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground. So that for the inverting terminal, the input impedance for this op-amp, that is your infinite. So here the current will be 0, or this V1 equal to V2 equal to 0. That is, this virtual ground concept says that when this non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground, that is V1 equal to 0, in that case the difference voltage, that is the differential voltage between this two terminal VD equal to V1 minus V2, and here this voltage is equal to 0. Okay, so the differential voltage will be equal to 0 for the ideal case. So here we can consider, since this IB equal to 0 and V2 equal to V1 equal to 0, we can write the current, that is II will be equal to simply ID, because IB equal to 0. Now let us write. So here the point G is at the virtual ground. Since this point G is at the virtual ground and input impedance of op-amp is infinite, therefore we can write the IB equal to 0 and V1 equal to V2 equal to 0. So therefore we can write equation 3 implies II will be equal to ID. Okay, sorry, II equal to ID. Since IB equal to 0, I can write this is your II will be equal to ID, since IB equal to 0. Okay, now you can see this II will be equal to, so here for this II, so this is your VS and the voltage will be at this point G. So this is your V2. We know V equal to IR. So the potential difference will be Vs minus V2 divided by Ri. So here for the current II we can write this will be Vs minus V2 divided by Ri. So now let me write. So this implies Vs minus V2 divided by Ri, and that is equal to, in place of ID we can write this will be Is, that is the diode current, exponential EVF divided by Kt. This is our expression when EVF by Kt is very larger than 1. So for that case we have already calculated. So this is our diode current, this one. Now if we will consider, since this V2 equal to 0, so this term goes to 0. So we can write this will be Vs divided by Ri, that will be equal to Is into exponential, here E, in place of Vf you can see. So in place of Vf is the forward voltage for the junction diode. So this Vf can be written as, this is your V2 minus Vu. Okay, in place of Vf we can write this is your V2 minus Vu. So let us write, in place of Vf I will write V2 minus Vu. So here this will be V2 minus Vu divided by Kt. But here the V2 value will be 0. Since this V2 equal to 0 from the virtual ground concept, so we can write, this can be also written as equal to Is into exponential minus EVO divided by Kt. Okay. Or again we can write this as, if I will take the logarithm of the both side of the equation, then we can write this is your Vs by Ri. Okay. Log of log base E Vs divided by Ri, this is equal to log base E Is exponential minus EVO divided by Kt. Right. Now we can see this is your, this term can be written as, this is in the form of log A into B. So we can write it as log A plus log B. So this can be written as equal to log base E Is minus, this will be log base E exponential minus CVO divided by Kt. We can write like this. Okay. Now here, or this can be written as, this left hand side term will remain as it is, that is log E Vs divided by Ri, and here this log E Is, that can be taken to the left hand side, that will be minus log base E Is, that is equal to this log E and base E, that will be equal to 1. So we can write this is your minus, and here again also the minus, that will becomes plus. Sorry, this is your log A plus log B. Okay, this is your log A plus log B. So that this will be minus into plus, this will be minus, this will be EVO divided by Kt. Because log A into log B, that will be log A plus log B. So now this log E base E, that will goes to 1, and that is equal to now minus EVO divided by Kt. So here this is our final expression. This is divided by Kt. Okay. Now if I write it again, this can be written as, or this will be log A minus log B. So this is your log A by B. So we can write this as log base E Vs divided by Isri, that is equal to minus CVO divided by Kt. Or finally we can write the output voltage VO will be equal to minus Kt divided by E into log base E Vs divided by Is. This is your Is into Ri. So here let me correct. So here this is your small Is. Okay, Is into Ri. Okay. So this is our final expression for the output voltage. So these are your small Is, because here we have considered already small Is. So these are your small Is. Okay. So this is also small I, current small I. Okay. So now finally we have calculated the output voltage is equal to minus kT by E into log base E Vs divided by Is into Ri. So now we will see what are the application of this logarithmic amplifier. So the applications are, it is used in signal processing. It will process the signal processing. It is used in, that is, it can be used in computerized process control. It can be also used for the RMS value. Let me write, this can be used for RMS value detection. It can be used for the RMS value detection. It can also be used to regulate gain. The logarithmic amplifier can be used. So this is all about the logarithmic amplifier and its application. So here, basically in this logarithmic amplifier, you can see the feedback. Across the feedback, the diode is connected and the inverting terminal is connected with the input resistor Ri, and here the non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground. So finally you can see the output voltage Vo. It is proportional to the logarithmic function of the Vs. So basically we can write this Vo, that is the output voltage. So this is proportional to this is minus log of Vs. Okay, that is the logarithmic of the input signal, logarithmic value of the input signal. That's why it is called the logarithmic amplifier. So this is all for today. Thank you all.